Hey, hello everyone. I'm David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. On this show, little libraries are unveiled as the city kicks off Nevada Reading Week, and thousands pour into Las Vegas for the annual Mayor's Cup soccer tournament. I'm joined by the councilman who represents Ward 4, Councilman Stavros Anthony. Welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Well, great, David. Great to be here and talking about some wonderful things happening in the city and in Ward 4.
A lot going on in Ward 4 since you've been on the show last time, so we're going to update everybody on that. We'll start off by showing you where Ward 4 is located. Maybe you're not exactly sure. He knows it like the back of his hand, but if you're not exactly sure, it's basically the northwest area of the valley. Kind of north of the Rainbow Curve, but not all the way out to Ann Road. So if you live in that area, work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And as we said, you're represented by Stavros Anthony. We have a lot in the show to talk about. Let's begin with Nevada Reading Week. It's an annual event, but it had a nice twist this year, a nice addition that we want to tell everybody about. You're very active on social media, so you tweeted this out. Reading to a great group of kids at Mark Carey Elementary School during Nevada Reading Week. You knew Mark Carey, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I knew Mark Carey when I was a police officer at Metro, and I remember the day he was shot and killed. It was a terrible day, and it was awesome that the school is named after him to remember his name for eternity. So, and to be surrounded by a bunch of kids with books, and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, this is all about books this month.
Yeah. And this is the addition, these little free libraries.
Yeah, we put this first one at Ymca Memorial Community Center in my ward, and now they're going all over the city of Las Vegas, in front of City Hall, other locations, and it's a great place to take a book and drop it off and grab one out of there, and you're constantly moving books back and forth and making sure that kids know how to read. And the best way to do that is introduce them to books. I enjoy going out to my schools and in my ward and reading books. I always try to get a police officer related type of book. Those are a lot of fun because when I'm done, all they really want to do is talk about police officer stuff. But I just love introducing them to books and explain to them how that is such a big deal in life. If you can read, you're going to be a lot in a better shape to be successful in this society. Yeah.
So those little free libraries, they look like news racks, but they're not. They're little libraries, and it says on there, take a book, leave a book, and that's the whole idea.
Yeah, and it's primarily for kids, kids' books, but really you can put any book in there that you want that you think somebody would have a good time reading. So to find out where they're located, they're on our website, tell you exactly where they're located, and go by there and pick one up and then drop off one of your books. And like I said, it's a great way to introduce kids to books, and it's fun because you get surrounded by kids. I got to read Dr. Seuss books, I'm sure you read those when you were a kid, David.
Yeah, Go Dog Go and all that stuff. Yeah.
So they put the hat on me, the Dr. Seuss hat, and it's a lot of fun. So I'd encourage you, if you're in the when you're in the community, just drop by an elementary school and see if you can sign up to read to some kids in the classroom. It's a lot of fun doing it.
It's a big deal, and the kids really look forward to it. And like you say, Councilman, it makes a big impact on their education. It introduces them to books, makes reading fun, and hopefully that'll inspire them to go on with their education, really dig into it as they move through life. Absolutely. Well, speaking of education, we're going to stay on that theme. You also tweeted this. Recognizing the winners of the Quiet Storm Foundation annual C.J. Watson Black History Essay Contestants at the Las Vegas City Council meeting. This is a big deal. C.J. Watson, former NBA player from Las Vegas, who started this foundation and this contest every year to inspire children to delve into Black history.
Yeah, they come up with a theme every year, and they ask kids to write an essay about that theme, and they end up giving awards to the ones that win in their particular category. And these were great kids coming down here. If I could just mention their names, because they really are.
Who are the winners?
Terry and Bowman from Wendell Williams Elementary School, Adeline Cervantes from Charles West Preparatory Institute, Cameron Scanson from the Somerset Academy, Leanna Cohegan from Kermit Booker Elementary School, Jasmine Monzon from Gibson Middle School, and Sophia Iwalafo from Becker Middle School. Wow. And we brought them down to City Hall, and We gave him a certificate, and we had CJ's mom, Kathy Watson, and the president of the foundation talk a little bit about the foundation. And they not only write these essays, but they actually memorize them. So, and some of them are 3 or 4 minutes long.
Right.
So for them to write them and then memorize them and then recite them is just, it's pretty cool. But again, it's really, these kids in this foundation are an inspiration to other kids to want them to read more and study more and really get into topics a little bit further. And I was just honored to recognize the kids and CJ's mom and the foundation for what they're doing in our school system.
Yeah, CJ, a great young man from Las Vegas, played basketball here, of course went on to have a great career in the NBA. He's playing over in Turkey now. Bottom line is, you talk about someone who gives back to the community. That's C.J. Watson and his family's mom, Kathy, and the whole foundation.
Yeah, and they actually get to go to UCLA and tour the campus and get some get a private tour and talk to professors and stuff. At this young age, they're already kind of looking at colleges, which is kind of neat. So congratulations to the kids and the foundation, and I'm glad they came down to City Hall to let everybody know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, inspirational all the way around for sure. Keeping it at City Council, Councilman, you had the honor of recognizing our Citizen of the Month in February. It was Mr. Freddie Smith. Tell us about Freddie and why you chose him for Citizen of the Month.
Well, I'm sure most people have heard of Fabulous Freddie through his car washes. They're all over the city of Las Vegas, but it was really for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is a guy that started a small business. I mean, he was part of the Smith family that started Smith's Food King, but he went on his own and started his own business, car washes, and he's just a great small businessman in this community. But the main reason I recognize him is because of the things that he gives back to this community. He is involved in a lot of different charities, involving a lot of nonprofits that he helps. And the one that is most personal to me is he was very involved in helping Metro raise money to get body armor for the police officers. So as a former Metro police officer, I just wanted to specifically thank him for doing that, because he probably saved lives. You know, people that are officers that wear this body armor wear it for a reason. And for him to go out on his own and raise money to make sure every single officer had body armor when they were on duty was just, you know, God bless him for doing something like that. So that's a Citizen of the Month, somebody that goes out and not only runs their own business, but gives back in that way. And Metro is very appreciative. I was appreciative, and that's why he was a Citizen of the Month. And his sign is out in front, so everybody can take a picture of it.
Exactly.
And I told him he should give discounts to everybody in the city of Las Vegas at his car washes.
Hey, what did he say to that?
Well, he said, we'll see. We'll see.
Councilman, for the people that don't know, you had 29 years at Metro, retired as a police captain there, over a lot of different divisions in your time. So you know of which you speak when it comes to the police department and honoring the...
Yeah, you know, when an officer is in the locker room putting on their uniform and they're able to put on body armor underneath that uniform, that makes them feel a lot better. It makes them feel safer. But for somebody like Freddie Smith to raise money, they appreciate the community supporting them and backing them 100% and doing what they can to make sure that they're safe in this community.
All right. Well, thanks to Freddie. We appreciate that, and good luck to him in his future ventures. Councilman, it's a big annual event. It got even bigger this past year. I'm talking about the Mayor's Cup soccer tournament. It used to be one weekend, President's Day weekend, for the older kids. But this year, we had the boys play on President's Day weekend and the girls play on the following weekend. So the tournament just grew exponentially as a result.
Yeah, it's amazing how big this Mayor's Cup soccer tournament has become. Like you mentioned, when it first started, it was at a couple of soccer fields, and the championship was at Betty Wilson Soccer Complex. We have over 500 teams that come out here all over the world. And this was the first time they had to break it down into 2 weekends because we just didn't have enough soccer fields to accommodate everybody. But nobody complained. They loved it. It was great weather. Thanks to our city employees, the facilities were just in incredible shape, and there was some great soccer and some great competition, and there were college scouts out there scouting out future college soccer players, both on the girls and the boys side, and a bunch of our local teams won their division, their championship, first and second place, and I'm going to honor the first place winners at our city council meeting coming up, and sometime in I believe in April we're doing that, and it's just. And people go out there just to watch great soccer. I mean, these are some incredible athletes, these girls and boys at this age that can go out there and just they're professionals. And some of them are going to end up being they'll probably play for the Lights. Some of them
that'd be great
here locally, and some major league soccer teams. So it's a big deal, and it brings in a lot of revenue into the city.
Oh, it's huge.
Especially on Champion Lake Mead and. Tenaya is just packed with cars and people and rental cars and hotel rooms, so it's a big deal. It gets bigger every year, and we accommodate them. We love having them out here.
The tournament's broken now into 3 phases. In the fall, usually around Nevada Day, the little kids play, the littler kids. In the spring, you've got the older kids, and it's like Councilman said, this is a big deal for them because a lot of college scouts show up to scout the players to see who might get a scholarship to play at their university. So.
And there's a lot of people that work on this tournament. Not like I said, our city employees, but the Downtown Soccer Club, Roger Tabor and his group, they spent a lot of time making sure that this is a premier soccer tournament. This is something that you just throw together at the last minute. It's planning all year round. So I'm very proud of to have this tournament in the city of Las Vegas, and puts us on the map. Just like we're hopefully going to have pickleball tournaments sometime in the near future in the city of Las Vegas.
It's going to be international, just
like
this.
Put us on a map with that too, absolutely.
Well, if you touch it, it's going to grow. That's what happened with the soccer, for sure. Councilman, one thing I really love about this community is our diversity here, and you have really embraced that. Your parents were immigrants from the island of Cyprus, came here to the United States, did very well, raised your family, did great. And you've embraced that whole cultural diversity ever since you've been a city councilman, and I love that. You tweeted this out recently. You said, honored to present a proclamation to the Sri Lanka American Association of Las Vegas for the Sri Lankan Independence 70th anniversary. And you always mark Greek Independence Day, but now this year we were also marking Sri Lankan Independence Day.
Yeah, like you mentioned, David, this is just a great city because of our diversity. And anytime I can be involved in other cultures, other ethnic groups, other events, this is a perfect example. The Sri Lankan community was very proud to put together an event one evening to mark the 70th anniversary of their independence, and they invited me to come out, and we got to see the kids dance and the older folks dance, and it was really inspirational watching how proud they were of but they were Las Vegans too, and they're Americans, but they're proud of their ethnicity, just as I'm proud of my Greek Cypriot heritage. And it was great to give them a proclamation. The only thing I told them, next year they have to have Sri Lankan food.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any Sri Lankan food there. So I told them they have to share that with everybody also. So they promised they would do that.
It's fair, because for Greek Independence Day, you require food.
We love the
there.
food,
yeah,
absolutely.
That's right. Exactly, part of the deal.
So congratulations to them, and I hope to be out there for the 71st anniversary next year.
Absolutely. Yep. Many, many more safe, happy years for Sri Lanka. And Councilman, we didn't stop with Sri Lanka. I mean, it's Chinese New Year too, so you tweeted this out too. It said, honored to recognize the start of the 7th annual Chinese New Year in the Desert Festival, the Year of the Dog, festivities all month long. And this is a big deal. We always have them come to City Council, and they put on a great show for us to kick off the meeting. Yeah,
every year the Golden Catalyst Group and the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority get together with me in the city of Las Vegas, and we always honor the annual Chinese New Year in the desert. We have the Lohan School of Shaolin come down and start our city council meeting with the dragon dance, and we have the different parts of the Chinese community come down and share their dress with us, and honored to give them a proclamation recognizing the beginning of the Chinese New Year. It's the Year of the Dog this year, and we had they had a great event at the Fashion Show Mall with the full dinner and talking about the Chinese New Year and the dress and the dancing. They had a great parade on Fremont Street, starting at 11th and Fremont, going all the way down to Container Park, and our own Cimarron Memorial High School was there.
Yeah,
but
Ward 4, yeah.
you see, it was a great turnout, and it's a fun parade, and they're very proud of their heritage, and I'm glad that they share it with everyone in the city of Las Vegas, and they do. Between the city hall and the parade and the dinner, they want to make sure everybody understands that Chinese New Year is a big deal, and it is, and it's a lot of fun doing it with them.
Well, and good for you for recognizing all the different, that's what makes our community so great, is that we've got such a diverse population here.
Absolutely.
Well, good stuff. So we got Sri Lanka, we got China, so you got to figure out, I guess we'll be doing Greek Independence Day coming up here soon too.
Yes, we sure will.
And the food is good at that, that's for sure, no question. Councilman, shifting gears a little bit here, you also tweeted, you've been active, you are all over social media. You tweeted this out too, with the Victory Martial Arts experts and McGruff getting ready to kick off my Healthy Family Fair at the YMCA in Ward 4. Now, this was a big deal. Tell everybody about what took place at this.
Well, first of all, I just want to talk about the great partnership we have with the Durango Hills Community Center. It's the city of Las Vegas owns a community center. The Y runs it, and we do a lot of events together. And this is one where we decided to put together a Healthy Family Fair, and the martial arts kids came out to kick it off. But we had all these stakeholders in the city of Las Vegas that come out that want to talk to our community members about things to make them healthier, whether it's public safety with Metro, whether it's getting your blood type checked, whether it's understanding what Centennial Hills Hospital can do, what the library district can do. We had probably 30 vendors out there that just want to talk to people about these are the things that you need to think about to make sure you're healthy. And you can see these martial arts kids; they're pretty serious.
Wow.
This is not a place for kids to just come together and mess around. They're very, very serious about their martial arts and what it teaches them. So I'd have you check it out. But it was a lot of people came out and learned about some things that are available free of charge to make sure that they're healthier in this community.
First time we've done that event?
Yes, it is. And we'll continue doing it. And I want to thank the YMCA for partnering up with us, and that's even part of it is check out the YMCA, whether it's the Durango Hills or the Centennial Hills. Yep. It's not that much. It's a great place to go get some exercise and learn about eating healthy and things like that. So this is just one way to get our constituents and people thinking about how healthy they can be.
Well, speaking of being healthy, out at the Y, there was a Glowstick dance party out at the Durango Hills YMCA. This took place on February 16th. We talked about this the last time you were on the show. So what is the purpose of the Glowstick dance party, Councilman?
Well, the first part, it's part of the Zumba Dance Fitness Center. So if you go to the YMCA, you can sign up for Zumba Dance, Zumba Fitness, which is a great way to exercise. So the Glowstick thing kind of added a little fun element to it to get people to come out and take a look at it. So most of your Zumba fitness classes are not going to have glow sticks because they're done during the day and they're at night. But this is kind of a way to introduce adults to it, introduce kids to it, to get them to kind of see what it's about. And hopefully they join and they get quite a bit of exercise. Zumba fitness is...
it's an aerobics workout tough. For sure.
Absolutely. It's continuous aerobics for 30 minutes or an hour, depending on how long the class is. So this is just a fun way for me in the city to try to introduce people to get involved in some kind of exercise.
Yeah, I just saw recently that a study came out that your brain health is improved by exercise that increases blood flow to the brain. Obviously, aerobic exercise is going to be right at the top of that list. So, hey, it's going to help your body and your mind.
Exactly.
Right. Councilman, some events coming up we want to tell everybody about. It's getting into that Easter season. So, of course, we're going to have the annual Ward 4 YMCA Easter Eggstravaganza, March 23rd. That's going to be that Friday from 6 to 8. This is a big deal because if you're looking for Easter eggs for the kids, this is the place to be.
And the YMCA does a great job putting this together. So, yeah, come on out. We won't tell you much else about it because it'll be a surprise, but come on out that date and those times. You're going to have a great time with the kids.
Yeah, pretty much a great event. It's an annual event out there. Councilman, also another annual event, the Easter Seals Walk. This is going to be March 31st. Always takes place on a Saturday. This year, Saturday, March 31, from 10 to 2 out at Wayne Bunker Family Park.
Yeah, this is, again, this is a way to get yourself introduced to Easter Seals and some of the great things they do and supporting their cause. And I'll be out there. There'll be quite a few people out there just talking to folks about the event, and then we're going to have the walk, and there'll be prizes. So it's a lot of fun. Bring your kids out there. The Easter Seals rabbit will be out there. You can get your picture taken with them. So yeah, come on out, and I guarantee you have a great time.
You've supported that walk and march really since you came into office, right?
Yeah, I think this is my about 7th, 8th time I've been doing it, and it's just great seeing people come out and want to support Easter Seals, which does such a phenomenal job helping people with disabilities in this community. So you're not only going to help Easter Seals, but you're going to have a fun time that morning. And the weather has always been great. I don't remember the last time it was a bad morning. It's always sunny, so come on out. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, March 31 will be good, and that'll be just the day before Easter. In fact, Easter will be the following day, right? And then, Councilman, also on March 31st, Sun City shredding event. Nobody ever shows up at these. I'm joking. These are always packed, everyone. It's going to be Saturday the 31st from 10 to noon. So you're going to have to go from one event to the other here this morning, Councilman.
Yep, I'll be spending the morning with Easter Seals, and then later on I'll go to this Sun City Summerlin at the Mountain Shadows Community Center. And you're right, people. It's primarily for people that live in Sun City. Seniors have a tendency of collecting documents for a long period of time, and it's time that they got rid of it. But anybody can show up for this event. But we have people lining up at 8 in the morning because they want to make sure that these documents are shredded safely and securely so they don't become victims of identity theft. So anybody can come out. Please take advantage of it. Everything we've talked about so far has been free. Every event has been free,
Good point.
Including this one. And it's just I'm glad to provide a service where people can get rid of these documents and not worry about their identity getting stolen and then their finances get all messed up. So please come out and make sure you take advantage of it.
Talk a little bit about that, Councilman. When you were at Metro for a time, you headed up the division that investigated those crimes, didn't you?
Yeah, I was the captain of financial crimes, and that was maybe 10 years ago, and we called it dumpster diving back then, where people would just throw their financial documents in a dumpster, and then criminals would go find it and pick it up, and they have your social security number and your account number, and all of a sudden they're getting a new debit card in their name, and they're stealing, all of a sudden they're closing out accounts and taking money. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that today, but I'll guarantee you, documents that have your information on it, there are criminals out there that want access to it that will absolutely devastate your life if you're not careful with it. So the first order is shredding documents that have this type of information on it, and this is the best place to do it. If you have a little shredder in your house, that's fine. But if you have 5 boxes worth of documents, you have to come to this. We'll get rid of it for you right away.
Well, you've started a real trend because you began these shredding events for the city of Las Vegas, I think because of your experience at Metro. Now all the council members and all the wards do it on a regular basis.
And I'm glad they do it, absolutely.
All right. And Councilman, last but not least, Coffee with the Cop coming up. This is going to be April 9th at Neater's Restaurant that morning from 9 to 10:30. Just as a casual opportunity to sit, have coffee with you, with the police officers that patrol the area, kind of an informal setting, and no big deal. It's kind of less intimidating maybe than going to a Metro event. This is just over a cup of coffee. You can talk about issues in your neighborhood.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We started this a few years ago. I have one every quarter, and you're right. We have Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officers there. We have our city marshals there, and it's kind of a casual place where you can come in, meet the officers that work your neighborhood, talk about some of the issues going on in your neighborhood. If it's more city or code enforcement, then they can talk to me about it. But it is just kind of a way to sit down and have a cup of coffee and a muffin or a egg sandwich and talk about some of the things that are occurring in your neighborhood that we need to respond to. And come on out, and I'd be glad to meet with you.
All right, that's going to be April 9th at Nieder's Restaurant out in the Northwest then. Well, great job, Councilman. We covered a lot of turf today.
We did. There's a lot going on, and the next show will have a ton more stuff. But it's all, it just shows what a great city we live in.
Absolutely.
There's all these positive things that are going on, and just good to be part of it. And it's good to get our community members together to talk about these things.
Right, and involved.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to tell everybody. Hey, we always want to hear from you, so if you have something you'd like to share with Councilman Anthony, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. As you saw, he is all over social media. And if you leave a comment, we could use your post in one of our upcoming shows. For sure, we'd love to hear from you. You can also contact the councilman at 702-229-6405 or just send him an email. His address is santhony@lasvegasnevada.gov. All right. I'd covered it. That was a lot of stuff.
We did, and it's next time we talk, it'll be in the springtime.
Even more, I know. There'll be even more things to talk about. Well, great job. We'll see you back here in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 4.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Councilman. Yep. And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on March 8th with Ward 2 City Councilman Steve Soroka. And don't forget you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.